The bike is done. It's been a few weeks, or it's been over a month now since Born Free, but myself and Dylan have both been pretty busy, so we haven't really had time to do this. So just kind of looking back since the last time we filmed anything or, did the last episode, I tore the bike completely apart.
Okay, so yesterday it was a running bike and I took it for a rip down the street. Today it is completely disassembled. That's my chrome pile along with all that stuff for the front end and some other random pieces. The engine's gonna get broken down. And then, tank, fender, frame are all getting painted. And yeah, this thing is completely apart now.
Sent everything to chrome that needed to get chromed, finished up a little bit of metal finishing and made a couple pieces I realized that I needed to finish after riding it that day in front of my house. So yeah, got everything chromed and polished. The engine actually was a big ordeal. So I took the jugs off the engine, had the fins completely polished smooth and then nickel plated. It was kind of a big ordeal. The polisher was pretty bummed that I even asked him to do it, and he definitely reflected that in the price and said he didn't want to do it, and I basically said you have to because the engine's in pieces now. So yeah, it looks incredible. The whole engine is either polished or nickel plated, which I'm really happy with. Got that back together, got all my parts back from chrome. The paint process was kind of a big ordeal because there was 3 people involved, myself, Sonny Boy, and Walt at W&W Custom Paint. Walt did all the green. It's a really dark metallic green that looks basically black in the shade, and then in the sunlight you kind of see the green metallic come through. I really like the color a lot. And then the gold that is the lines. It's a gold with a Murano pearl mixed in with the gold, so it has a little bit of a shimmer in the sun. I really like the way the colors complement each other. I think it's kind of a classic paint job to go with the bike. I couldn't be happier with it. And Sonny Boy was amazing. I would go to his shop at nighttime and we'd kind of work on the layout together. As he was taping it, we'd bounce ideas off of each other, and he really killed it.
The chemist at work mixing colors.
And Walt also, with the body work, and spraying all the green, and then he did the cut and buff at the end, where he polished everything. And I'm really happy with the paint. Both of those guys came through and killed it. So yeah, when you get parts back from chrome, your tolerances change because the chrome fills some of those gaps. So I had to chase a lot of threads and sand and polish a lot of pieces that were slip fit or had really tight tolerances. But I got it all together. And yeah, the assembly process took a couple weeks just because I really was careful not to mess up any of the finishes. But I'm super happy with the way the bike came out. I went with the Sportster, as I made 2 different tanks to go with the bike, 2 different paint jobs, same paint schemes obviously, but I went with the Sportster tank that I had made, narrowed and shortened, and the taller risers and bars, and then down the road I'll probably switch the tank up for another show down the road. Yeah, I'm really happy with the proportions of the bike and just the overall look of the bike. I think I mentioned this before, but it has the 23-inch front wheel and the 2-over front end. Just kind of makes it sit nice and proud in the front, but doesn't look super tall or long. But the bike sits really tall, and it's narrow and skinny, just how I like it. As far as the running, how it runs, the engine is good. It sounds really solid compared to other flatheads. My 39, it runs great, but it kind of sounds like a sewing machine when it's running. This one sounds pretty mean. The heads are ported and polished, and it has aggressive cams in it, and it just sounds different than my other flathead. And I think it's going to be pretty fast once I break in the motor. So once the bike was done, which I really finished it the day before Born Free. Overall, you know, this whole filming process, you know, we put everything in 6 episodes now, which is, you know, an hour of footage or something like that. But in reality, the whole process took like 9 months. So I know sometimes things might come across as like they happened fast, but everything took a lot of time. You know, me being meticulous about things and waiting on parts or waiting on chrome or paint or just the amount of time it takes to make a part and metal finish it and make it look perfect and fitment and everything. There's a lot more than meets the eye when you're watching this stuff. I really didn't cut any corners. You know, there's nothing on the bike that I feel like I left shorthanded. You know, like I did the work, and there's no pieces on the bike that I feel like I didn't put my full amount of effort into. You know, I finished the day before Born Free, finally. I brought it to the show, and I felt like I could be proud of the bike that I built. And, you know, there was a lot of really amazing bikes at the show this year. I feel like everybody put their best foot forward, and nobody really just mailed it in. You know, it was, the competition was stiff.
Here we are, dog.
Here we are. So, yeah, it's June 23rd, Sunday, second day of Born Free 15. It's been a really fun weekend so far. It's pretty hot out, but having a good time. A lot of really beautiful bikes here this year, and you know, I hope. I think I brought something that can, you know, has a chance, but we'll see what happens.
Best flathead was tough as well this year. There's a bunch of those all around the property. I brought my own. I was going to give it to myself. I like those things a lot. But enough about me. Best flathead goes to Ryan Cox. Ryan Cox or Regenerative Cycles. Best flathead. I think he's actually won this before with one of his flatheads. You're welcome. Do you want to tell us anything about it?
I really like flatheads. The next bike I build will probably be a flathead. Thank you, Mike and Grant, for asking me to do the show. I'll probably be back.
Excellent. Ryan's always welcome back. Mr. Clean, Mr. Detail. Congratulations, Ryan Cox from Los Angeles. Best flathead.
I had a really good time. The bike ended up getting best flathead. It's always nice to get something for your efforts. You know, overall, it was a great experience. I'm really happy that I did it. You know, I think that I'll probably do more shows like this in the future. As you've been watching, you know, myself and Dylan, we had to make our schedules link up to get footage or whatever, you know, documenting the building process. Obviously, we had to leave a lot of it out because we didn't have time to film everything. I was working on the bike pretty much every day. But it was a fun process. I'm really stoked that, you know, he approached me to do this and we agreed to do it, and it's been fun, and I think that we'll continue doing it as long as it's fun. And, you know, we have something to show. Now that this bike is basically done, I have some ideas for things to do in the future. I think I'm gonna start on another show bike pretty soon, so I kind of want to do another flathead. So I have my 39 flathead. It's a different bike than this, obviously. This is a 40. I'm gonna take the engine out of that and, you know, polish it up and make it look nice, and put a knucklehead in that bike, and I'll take the flathead and use that for the heart of the next project I'm gonna build. Thanks for everybody that's been watching and leaving comments on the episodes. I do read them, and you know, everybody has left positive messages. I haven't gotten one negative thing. So thanks for the positive messages, thanks for watching. So stay tuned, there's a lot more to come. I have a lot of ideas I wanna get out there. Just kind of trying to figure out what I really want to put my effort into, and we'll kind of follow the process of all that and keep it coming.
You suck! You're like shit. It's pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Just put a little weight on. Good.
Go for it.
Safety first.
And we're live.
I almost got my finger. I got close.
Good weld, sir?
Good welds. Yeah. Yeah, I'm stoked. That was sketchy. Let that be what I needed to do, and now it's time to take this whole fucking thing apart and move on.